Hi, my name is Elizabeth Moore, and welcome to another episode of our agency podcast. I'm the Foster Care and Community Engagement Coordinator at Marion County Children Services, and here with me today is who I consider a very special guest. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ben Moore, and I am the co-director of For the Children and Royal Family Kids in Marion.
So this is my husband, and this is why we are in a different setting than normal, and we are hoping to filter all the background noise, and we're also not socially distanced or wearing masks. So there you go. So we're going to just go ahead and jump right in. Do you want to talk about what your organization does to serve Marion?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of start off with kind of what we believe. We believe that all children should have family, safety, rights, and a future. And so what we do in Marion is kind of based on all of that. Many of you probably know us as Royal Family Kids, and what we do there is 5-day summer camps for kids age 7 to 11 in the foster care system. And recently started mentoring and clubs, which we see the kids that come to camp for the other 9 months of the year, and we see them once a month on a Saturday morning for like a club type setting where we have fun with them, play games and some lessons, that kind of thing. And then they have a mentor that goes with them that sees them 4 hours also in that same month.
Great. So what is your role within the organization?
So my current role with the organization is the co-director with my lovely wife, Elizabeth. And kind of what we do is oversee the ministry, the finances and all the ins and outs of the daily activities that need done. That's what we do.
All right. And so what are some other roles within the organization?
So there's lots of roles within the organization. We take volunteers and do all of the work we do. So we need staff, and we need counselors, and we talked about clubs and mentors. We need club people, and we need mentors to love the kids, and we need cheerleaders and people to just love kids. And so we take lots of different kinds of people that we need. Okay.
So that leads us really into a pretty natural question, is how can people get involved then?
Yeah. So, people can get involved a whole bunch of different ways. They can volunteer. Obviously, we can use your help. If you want to help, you can reach out to Elizabeth or myself, and we can direct you in how we can best serve you. Obviously, because of the nature of the kids we work with, we don't just take anybody to Royal Family Kids or for the children here in Marion. We do strenuous background checks and interviews and all that kinds of things, and we get to know you before we decide you're safe to work with our kids and with Marion County Children Services kids. And so you can do it that way. You can do it a couple other ways. You can give us money. We always need money, and so we won't shy away from that. We'll take your check if you have that. And we can also use support, whether that means you know somebody that does Royal Family Kids, or you reach out to one of us and say, how can we help you? What can we donate? Can we help with clothes? Can we help with meals? Can we help with something? We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we pretty much don't turn down things. I mean, so anything you think you might be able to help.
Find a use for everything.
Yeah. So, and then your time. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Let's say you can't give up 5 days in the summer to come help 24 hours a day for those 5 days. Maybe you can give 5 minutes. We can always use some kind of help.
So you've talked a lot about Royal Family Kids and summer camps. Can you explain a little bit about like what that looks like?
Yeah, so what Royal Family Kids does here in Marion is we take children ages 7 to 11 to a 5-day summer camp in the summer. And we put them up in cabins, and they get a counselor and 2 kids for each counselor. So the kids get a lot of attention that way. And then we take them swimming every day and out in the woods to play, and they get to go down to the creek and catch crawdads, and they get to sing songs and do all kinds of fun, cool stuff that a normal child would experience in childhood probably. But children in the foster care system, children of the abuse and abandoned, neglected background don't necessarily get to experience things like that through no fault of their own, but through the faults of the person caring for them.
So I think one thing I want to talk about too when we're talking about those things is that And obviously, because I know the organization, it helps a little bit to put some of my 2 cents in. You talked about the background checks and the training and everything. Our volunteers, or the volunteers for Royal Family Kids, know when they go out that they're working with kids who have a traumatized background. And so they have that training, and they, hopefully are diffusing situations and before they escalate, and they're helping them to, the whole point is to break the cycle. And so to show this is what healthy relationships can look like and healthy interactions. So, okay, so you've talked a little bit about Royal Family Kids and a little bit about For the Children. Can you maybe explain For the Children a little bit more for Marion?
Yeah, so one of the really cool new things that we're doing here in Marion is Royal Family Kids is becoming For the Children. So you, the public, will see a new name. You will hear us refer to what we're doing as For the Children. And for the kids themselves and for the programs that we're doing, none of that changes. So for the kids, they're still going to hear Royal Family Kids. We're still going to sing songs about Royal Family Kids. For our children age 7 to 11 in foster care who are coming to camps and clubs and mentors, nothing changes for them. So that's really cool. We'll still continue to push forward with all of those programs that are life-changing for those kids. But we want to expand what we're doing. For 30 plus years, Royal Family Kids has been doing those camps, clubs, and mentors. And we want to expand to meet the needs of what's happening. And so kind of one example I'll give is COVID-19 has been an interesting time. And so over the summer, our normal 5-day camp couldn't happen. And so we have money that we get every year at a gala and through grants and just in-kind donations and all kinds of things. And we didn't spend that on a campground. And so we thought, how do we as Royal Family Kids be responsible with our money, but not hold on to it and do what it was intended to do? So we decided as an organization, we would bless the families of the kids that came to camp. So we took requests and needs and from foster parents, from grandmas and grandpas, from birth families who those kids are back with. And we did our best to spend our money to give those families the things that they needed in this season of COVID-19 and mess and all of that. And so a lot of them were very, very appreciative and loved receiving those things, and they blessed them, and we were able to do that. And so that's kind of where we move forward with For the Children. We want to continue that into the future, and so we want to do that forever, and we want to do that for kinship families and for foster families and for adoptive families. And bio families, yeah, absolutely. So we're going to do that with For the Children in a couple different ways, really in 3 different ways here in Marion. We're going to advocate on all levels, whether that means with government officials or with churches or with any kind of agency that we feel like can bless kids in the foster care system. We're going to advocate for those kids. We're going to continue camps and clubs and mentors. None of that's going to change. We're going to have Royal Family Kids underneath that umbrella organization of For the Children. We're going to go to camp 5 days in the summer, barring COVID-19 continuing.
Sure.
We're going to go to camp for 5 days in the summer. We're going to continue to do mentoring and continuing to do clubs. And we're going to see what we can do. We don't know what it looks like to help foster care and adoption, whether that means we find foster parents, whether that means we figure out how to license foster parents, whether that means we bless foster parents, adoptive parents, kinship parents, bio parents. We're going to figure out how to bless those people. There are 450,000 plus kids in the foster care system in the United States. And obviously, I'm sure you've listened to some of these podcasts. There's not enough foster parents for that. So how do we, as For the Children, help Marion County Children Services in that mission, in finding foster parents and blessing foster parents and keeping foster parents, and just helping kids get to be kids and get to be in a loving, safe, happy environment. I don't know what else I was going to say.
All right. So I feel like you've already talked a lot about how Royal Family Kids For the Children partners with Marion County Children Services. So now comes the part in my podcast where I ask a question I didn't prepare you for, which you would know if you watched my podcast on a regular basis. Anybody who watches my podcast and comes on, they typically know that that's going to happen. So, so I have what could be a fairly easy question for you, but what is it that you would say made you want to be a part of this and of Royal Family Kids for the children, and what advice in that would you give to someone else who's maybe considering to be a part of this? So as you think about that, I just want to let everybody know, I will link all the information in the description on how you can contact Royal Family Kids and Marion for the children. And any of those questions that you have for that organization can certainly be directed towards there. As always, if you have any ideas on future episodes of the podcast, please let me know, and I will put my contact information down below. And are you ready?
Yeah. So I did Royal Family Kids because I had to. Originally, my wife's grandma was obviously a huge part of what Royal Family Kids was. Every year she made pillowcases for all the kids and adults and all that stuff that came to camp. And when we got married almost 10 years ago, we decided, foster care, adoption, kids in our future, I don't know what that looks like. So we signed up to do Royal Family Kids and went to the first training that Royal Family Kids held. And left training that day and said, we'll do this forever. So year one, I was a counselor. I got to love on 2 kids and be with them, which was an awesome experience, an awesome way to start camp. And have since been to director's training and held a myriad of roles with Royal Family. And this is just, there's a camp movie. For some of you, if you're ever real interested in camp, you can go out and watch it. But one of the lines in that movie is that camp is real life. And my other life is just pretend. And so that's why I continue to do this, is to continue to love kids for 5 days and make a huge impact in their life. And for anybody out there thinking about it, I would just say give it a chance. Whether you give it a chance for 5 minutes or you give it a chance for 5 days, I promise you'll be hooked. And I promise you'll find some way to not only bless others, but to be blessed.
All right. So once again, if you have any questions for Royal Family Kids, I'll have all of that information linked in the description of this video. And if you have any questions for me at the agency, please feel free to contact me. Again, my information will be down below, and I'll also put that in the description of the video. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
You're not getting your video.
Let's finish it real quick.